Hi there, it's KMC. I wanted to share this help desk video with you to talk a little bit about something that came into our help desk just this week. And the doctor was very upset. The CA was upset. They feel like they were a little bit out of control. It's a question that comes up all the time and really from both doctors and staff. And it tends to go something like this. I have a new patient. They want to come in and get an adjustment. They don't want an exam. They just want an adjustment. What do I do? Well, nearly 43 years in the profession now, here's the bottom line. Patients don't get to set the clinical rules, the doctor does. And that's really not about ego, doctor. That's about your responsibility. And, you're responsible to your license. You're responsible to a standard of care and really to protecting the patient and everyone else involved. Even if a patient has been under care for 20, 30 years, what's happening today, why they're coming in your office today in front of you is the most critical information, and that has to be evaluated. You get to make some decisions around that and what you're going to document, but you are the person who will be held to the standard should anything happen at all. And we've all heard the horror stories about seemingly normal condition and something terrible happens during an adjustment. You don't need that. You need to follow a standard of care. Now, we don't argue with patients either, of course not, but who's to say that it means we don't just handle a conversation very confidently and also very cleanly. So for CAs, if you're answering the phone, it could go something like this. Mr. Jones, I really do understand where you're coming from, but the doctor does have certain obligations related to licensure and to their patient care and to their licensing board. But really those decisions I can't make and I can't schedule you that way. It has to come from the doctor. Now, we'd be happy to schedule what we call a pre-acceptance interview. It's a short, no pressure visit where you get to come in, meet the doctor, talk about your condition, visit about your concerns. There's no charge for that. And the two of you together can figure out what makes sense for moving forward. Schedule that into the schedule, give the slot if the patient would like to do that. And then doctors, you have an opportunity to really find out what's going on because who knows what it is. It could be about money. It could be about anything. So not only does this really give the CA the breadth and depth to get out of the way of clinical decisions, but it gives the patient what I would call a respectful on-ramp, an easy way to meet you and to decide whether that's a good fit. Now, doctors, I think, what are you going to do when the patient says, I don't want an exam? Because this could just not be a new patient. This can actually be anybody because this happens during an episode of care as well. Calmly and confidently, you could say, Mr. Jones, I really understand your concerns, and at the same time, it's my responsibility to fully understand your condition before I treat you. You could even go so far as to say, I would never respect you so little as to just simply adjust you without first doing a full evaluation. That evaluation can be focused, it can be quick, it can be efficient, and really very tailored to your main concern, but it does need to happen. Now, if cost is the concern, address it. You probably have some ways you can do that. Maybe you're a member of ChiroHealth USA and you've got some discounts and things of that nature. So, that's an opportunity to quell that problem. Maybe it's a time concern. Address it. Visits don't have to take forever, and maybe that's part of what their concern is. Maybe they've had an experience with another doctor that they don't love and they don't want to repeat. But your standard of care does not go away. And then it's very simple. You just give them a choice. I'd be happy to move forward under these conditions, or if it doesn't feel right, I'm happy to refer you out to a different provider who maybe be a better fit for you or is an opportunity for you to express your concerns in that way. Now, it's not confrontational. It's literally just professional. And doctors, we always want you to protect you. We love here at KMUC University, we really love kind of addressing these conundrums, and we're always here to help you, of course.